That's what it is. Folks, here we go.
They're like, whoa, he's kind of scary. Let's just argue.
Game 5 proper is upon us. Here comes the draft. Liquid on the play. Banning out the Bruno and the 1-1 and the Phoveus, while RRQ take out the Fanny, the Hilda, and the Matilda. All according to plan. Favian picks up the Suyo.
And they ban out the Phoveus this time, the change up, the switch up. Last time we saw the Eve open, RQ, it is detrimental to take this Eve right now, because if you don't, it goes into Yehezkiel's hands. And I think that is the last thing you want. They also lock in the glue, so we have a bit of a reverse swap TLID. Bruno?
And Cho, both of them could definitely be picked up right here. Could be a possible threat, and this could be the window of opportunity that TLID was looking for.
So I guess
Kojushin?
So I guess Aran just eats dirt? Because that's what happens, right? Like, so far, whenever Aran doesn't get the glue or the Hilda, they just leave him to the second phase, and then what does he do then?
Well, it's either we secure Aran, or we secure Yehezkiel and Witty right here. Those are your choices, right?
All right, here we see the Granger first, and then the Cho. So Weedy now finally gets his pick here. Is this wise, all puns intended, to have Yehezkiel in the second phase again? Because you're going to end up with a frontline mage, and then what do you do then?
It's definitely going to be very challenging. Well, technically, Barza is still on the table. Barza is still available.
Not for long.
Not for long, though.
You can go edge to edge. Do they ban the Pharsa and the Vixana come second phase?
There's Valentina, too, but
we saw what that did.
Yeah, we did.
There is a clutch pick that could come towards the end if it doesn't get banned out.
What is that?
The Lu Yi's open. Could see the Lu Yi as a very end of phase pick. Oh, hold on.
Whoa, this is not a drill. Ladies and gentlemen, the first phase alone.
Game 5.
This is game 5, shenanigans afoot. I asked Sutsujin, the mercenary here, to his face. This was a first pick remix. I said, Sutsujin, what hero would you use to describe yourself? He said Ling.
He is Ling.
He is him.
Ling is him.
He is putting all the cards on the table right now. Now, you know who else could be picked up technically because there's a glue on the other side? The Faramis could sneak up in here.
To me, it's Faramis or Vixana. Like, both do the same thing, just to pop those glulings.
That's true. And both can be very effective. But with this Ling on the table, right? I mean, you have that invulnerability with the tips of blades. You have the mobility to cut to the side lanes. It's going to create an element for RRQ that TLID has yet to face this entire series.
It's a tempo breaker. It's a gut check. It's like, hey, are you ready to face this? Game 5. Do you have anything left in the tank to face Sutsujin's signature pick? It's up to Favian now. It's up to Flavor Flav, the usurper, to try and shut things down. The Ruby, that's EDOC special banned out.
You know, they won their game yesterday with the first phase Ling pick against Vamos. Were able to clean through. So this isn't, I think, this isn't like uncomfortable for them. How's it going to work? I think it really depends on how well EDOC, Skylar, mid are able to control, and the XP lane are able to control, because Sutsujin's going to need a little bit of time to get to those pop-off moments.
There's the aforementioned Lu Yi. So it's just down to the Vixana, the Pharsa, or the Faramis. Odd one out. Which one is likely to end up in the hands of the Ghost of Jakarta? One last ban for Team Liquid ID, taking out EDOC's favorites. There's the Franco.
Now, oh, this is getting spicy. You know what? No, because I have CEO already, so this is going to be challenging. The Faramis could be good because they have sustainability, but they'll be lacking in the crowd control department, with just only Cho to kind of rely on. But technically, they could flex that Cho into the XP lane. They could still maybe go for something with more crowd control in the XP lane as well. There's still some options.
This is an odd Belleric. I got a feeling, because yes, it stops the Cho, but that aside, there's nothing else it really interacts with in Liquid ID's draft so far. So it might feel like Widdy's Belleric from Game 4.
And at this point, TLID, I'm guessing most likely we see a range mage. They could go back to the Novaria if they wanted to, something of that nature. Of course, the Ling caused a little trouble with that. Ling answers to a lot of, it's almost a future sight to any of those backlines. And with the Lu Yi gone now, yeah, you got to pick something a little closer to home.
So very double poke lineup There's the Hylos going into the hands of Aran. What does the Ghost pick up? What does Yehezkiel end up with?
That a little girl.
It is!
I've been waiting for this pick.
Tis a debut. We're at 74 unique picks now in M6.
Let's make it 75.
Nope. Ooh, worked on that.
We tried.
Nope.
So close.
Iritel, a specialty pick for Skylar, making its breakout in the MPLID Season 14 playoffs. This is the final lineup for the final game in this best of 5. One of these teams are headed to Axiata as we head to the desk with Ingan and Naisu.
Thank you so much, panel, for breaking down the draft one last time. It's getting a little hot here, man. This is now the second match going the distance. And again, we wouldn't have it any other way. This is the spot top 4 and Axiata that we're talking about. Ingan, there's another new pick here that we get to witness and now brought to the table. Let's take a look at the draft one more time. Who are you feeling more for Game 5?
I mean, in terms of the late game, you can't go wrong if you have a Lilia or Cecilia. In this case, for TLID, first time picked Lilia for Yehezkiel. But on the side of RRQ Hoshi, man, Sutsujin brings out the Ling along with one of Skylar's signature. The Irithil is back.
The Irithil is back, and will it be enough to cap out a win here? Is it going to be the Kingdom RRQ Hoshi, or will it be the Cavalry Team Liquid ID? The revenge for both teams on the table here going into Game 5. The endurance test of TLID after being 2-0, and now RRQ Hoshi has brought it down to a single game, just like we saw earlier. Now talking about the draft here, the fact that Yehezkiel's brought out so many new heroes. From what we've seen in the mid lane so far, now how are we thinking this Lilia is going to work against a pick we see so often in the Eve?
Yeah, I mean, he did put out a Savior, even the Navaria. A lot of first-time hero pick was cause of Yehezkiel, but Witty, very, very aggressive. Just they want to put control on the mid lane, as what we've seen in their first 2 game wins, and that's what they're planning to do up against RRQ again.
So they're going to have to do. Witty, so aggressive and so proactive on the Cho. He might get, sometimes a little overzealous and get punished, but nonetheless, he's had a phenomenal performance up to this point. And looking at the emblems here, this is the other thing. Susujin, like our panel said, they asked him. He is the Ling, and he runs the Warcry here. Fabian, though.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Quite low. A good response coming in from RRQ Hoshi. There's a thought from Adok to Widdy, and he's now going to focus his attention onto Rins. All the while, Yehezkiel just trying to poke down Sutsujin.
Wow, there's enough of moves there.
Forcing out the Tempest of Blades early on. That was a good play coming in from Yehezkiel. Now Fabian, he has the Queller, not going to connect. Sutsujin remains unbothered.
Really limit testing, in the early game at this point, already getting those Tempest Blades out. Oh, in a hook! Fabian goes in and picks up the kill. That's a solo kill right there, and now Turtle for the taking.
Okay. All the while, Sutsujin just focusing on his purple buff, while Yehezkiel zoning out the jungler of RRQ Hoshi. TLID starting out strong. A kill for Fabian, plus secures the turtle.
So already off to a good start, Team Liquid ID, based off that whole interaction they had. Even right now, it's proven a point that actually this Lilia pick's really good, able to slow things down. The Bloom's always a surprise amount of damage early on, even before she gets items. So still, RRQ Hoshi gonna have to adjust from it. Nothing too crazy to work from. They are playing with the Ling, and we know how important these buffs are gonna be in the rotation for the Ling, for Sutsujin. Relying on the team to help him out if the pressure starts. That's the one thing you want to avoid, is a too big of a lead to build for Team Liquid ID to the point where they're just always in Susujin's jungle here.
Yeah, but at the same time, RRQ Hoshi, they have to wait for the fact that Susujin needs to scale up. And looking at the proper targets that he could go for, I mean, Yehezkiel has the Black Shoes, so at any given moment, if Sutsujin decides to dive, he can just pop off that Black Shoes and remain safe. And Sutsujin is not gonna get the kill that he's looking for.
That's part of it. There's the initiation already. Idok out of the picture again. Susujin will jump in.
He dives in with the Tempest of Blades, gonna connect onto 4, but when he manages to flicker out, here comes Skylar though. No casualties yet for TLID once again, but they were able to take down Idok. Not a strong start. A 0-2-0 for this Belleric.
Yeah, very tough. Even utilizing the Revitalize that time, but still just overloaded with damage. Kind of dealing with this Again, 0 and 2. He's going to be fine, though. Diamond will take some damage. They still might look to fight even further around the purple buff.
Just the ring of punishment just being a thorn in the neck for the whole squad of RRQ Hoshi. And now they're trying slowly, bit by bit, applying a bit of a pressure onto the jungle of Sutsujin. Again, this is a link that scales up pretty well towards the late game. That's why TLID, there's an internal pressure for them to try and get a huge lead early on. But if ever that fails, or if ever RRQ Hoshi manages to extend this game towards the late game, Yezikiel comes in with the Lilia.
Again, Turtle up for the taking. A couple shots happening, and Sutsujin will make his way for this one.
Okay, Dyron just doing his work, zoning out, comes split plus real manipulation. All the while, Windy is there with the backline, gonna connect with the Wave of the Dragon. And still, Rince gets the turtle. Here comes the counterattack coming in from RRQ as they take down Aran. But TLID, the rest of the cavalry on the attack, gonna bring down Edok and Dyron.
So again, still exchanging. Fabian on the hunt. Rince trying to get back. Fabian not going to be able to follow through on that one. So they break out Rince. Luckily, yeah, gets the turtle there. Does pick up the glowing wand now. Big part of the kit here, of course, for the Eve to set things up. But that was the thing, too. You know, both the gold laners relatively just kind of having a chill time in that gold lane against each other. Skylar does have the Haas Claws now. Hunter Strike here over on the other side for Aaron Shiki. But look at the pressure here on the tier 1.
Oh, are they going to commit the Way of the Dragon, though? Okay, Windy for a turtle. For a turret might not be a bad trade for TLID, because again, this is where their lineup kicks in. They want to go for objectives as much as possible, because towards the late game, you cannot. It's hard to go up against a Sutsujin that's scaled up perfectly. Not to mention, Skylar is also rocking an Irithel.
Yeah, this is the part too. You know, because of the fact that Fabian was part of the early kills that he got, he is scaling up. As long as Sutsujin doesn't go down, he's able to go ahead and just keep focusing on the farm, then at least you're in a position where you're not too outscaled. You should be able to go ahead and fight. And again, it's one of those things with a Ling where you can always just try to go ahead and sweep on in and maybe steal the Lord, or at least cause enough of a chaos situation where then it comes down to a 50-50 for the Retri. But right now, it's RRQ Hoshi just trying to keep things from getting too out of hand. Witty has been a nuisance, a part of this. Oh. Both junglers here.
Jungler 1v1, okay. Sutsujin just really feeling the damage of the Sever. But again, if you're going to look at the 50-50s in terms of the neutral objectives,
yeah,
Fabian has a slight advantage, I would say, because of the Sever Retribution combination. It's like saying, it's like the Appraiser's Wrath or Retri combination that we've seen with the Fredrin, even the Ult of the Balmond plus the Retribution combination. So TLID can actually, there's not much problem or pressure that they have to think about when it comes to Sutsujin out-retrying Fabian.
Third turtle's up. Again, getting in position. Frontliners there at it. We'll see them set it up now.
Okay, set up. Real world manipulation. Here comes Sutsujin, though. Is he going to go down as Darwin goes with the split? Gonna get caught up by 4 here as Aran. Okay, he has to revitalize, but is gonna get bursted down by Sutsujin.
Whoa!
Here comes the split.
Still there.
Still there, gonna get ganked up by 3. He's gonna fall down in the hands of Fabian, but all the while, RRQ gets the turtle plus the kill. So right now, you can safely say RRQ won that trade.
RRQ, I mean, a lot of the times that's Dyron's job. You know, he just tries to do things for the team, whether that's a turtle, whether that's a turret, cuts them off and keeps them focused on the goal for now. Sutsujin will pick up the Haas Claws. They'll also get a turret down. Berserker's Fury now too for Skylar. So 2 items locked in. Looking at how the farm's going, you know, relatively well. Well, right now, Fabian and Aaron Shiki at the top of the standings. They've been doing a great job at just kind of keeping the pace. Aaron Shiki will start to shine later on, already nearly there to the BOD. Does pick it up just now, so Hunter Strike and BOD for Aaron Shiki. He'll start joining the fights a lot more now, especially as we lead into this Lord about a minute away. And RRQ Hoshi, they can utilize the split pressure they can put on the map with a Ling if they want to. But still, he's going to have to go ahead and be mostly with these team fights for the objectives later on. Just because, again, even if it's just to steal with the Retribution. But Sutsujin's done a great job at just staying alive. Still trying to cover some ground here, but man, like, these ranged shots here from Team Liquid ID is what they have to overcome.
The warning shots coming in from Aaron Shiki, making sure that Edok cannot just zone out the members of TLID, making quick work in the minions in the middle lane. And now looking at Widdy, he does have a good position with the brush. They might be able to take a pick off onto Skylar if Skylar decides to go back up top.
See how they go it again. Look at the positioning right now. Skylar approaching.
Okay, here comes the wave, the Dragon Flicker combination. Rinse fighting back with the real manipulation, but they're trying to cut off the exit route. Here comes the man. Here comes Winnie once again. He's E-killed with the glooms. Gonna bring down 2. RRQ Hoshi, no answer as Sutsujin is just trying to go for the bottom lane push.
He pushed in the lane a little bit. Lord's gonna come up. But man, TLID got 2 in exchange. They make their way to the Lord, they'll start it up. And Sutsujin will see if he can pull something off, but he's gonna get spotted out by Witty. Not sure if he's gonna be able to actually find an angle or a window to go in here. Dyron already taken the damage, split off.
Okay.
There's the kick.
Here comes the glorious pathway. Witty just trying to zone out Sutsujin. Forced to use out the Templars of Blade. Here comes Skylar though, gonna pick up a Ken all to Aran. And now a double man knockoff coming in from Witty. RRQ Hoshi not backing down, trying to poke down Witty. And now they're back on this Lord fight.
Enough to go ahead and stall things out and go for the reset. Both teams might just wait. Aran almost back up. Still, Witty, blade armor now for him. We saw Skylar's damage already to preview it when he pops that heavy crossbow. But now they set things up. Edok still on the front side of it, has the Revitalize nearly available. The Wrath of the Dryad. So they'll find themselves in this situation now, fighting for the Lord here. And despite this lead, even the poke coming out from Aaron Shiki, of course, he is going to have to be able to respect some of the damage coming out in return. But neither team can actually commit to this Lord just because of how much threat there is in around this Lord pit.
Yeah, and at the same time, with you can't just go in for the Jit Kundu combination because of the presence of Edok with the Belleric. Once he sees or once he feels that Widow is going to go in for the engage, he can just cast the Wrath of Dryad and just foil the plan of TLID. And for the same time, RRQ Hoshi, it's not easy for them to just really try and go for the backline because again, the glooms that Yeskill has been doing, 303 KDA, it's been a thorn in the neck of RRQ Hoshi, honestly. That's why Yeskill trying to zone out the members. Here comes Dyron though. Is he gonna cast a split real manipulation coming in from Rins. Here on Shaky just dishing out the damage with the Rhapsody. Rins has to flicker away. Aran caught in the midst of everything. There's the glorious pathway. Windy with a kick and gonna bring down Dyron.
Dyron already out of the picture again. A Lord goes for a reset. I think it might just be a full reset again, even with Dyron out of the picture. So still, neither team wanting to fully commit. They continue to test each other's limits. Sutsujin will go ahead and grab the purple buff. Edok trying to provide that vision, but TLID still wants to poke them down.
Oh, they want to go for more! And gonna bring down Edok! Sutsujin got stunned and got bursted down by Aaron Shaky! TLID executed that to perfection! 2 kills plus the Lord!
The patience from the Cavalry will help them win that fight. Again, they took their time, they poked from a distance, and then they collapsed down at the right moment. Now RRQ Hoshi on the defense. Again, with this Lord pushing in, they should be able to hold it together. They might lose that tier 1, some of the tier 2s, but they're still in the game. Skylar has been able to go ahead and farm up now, 3 items locked in. But you see where the difficulty is for RRQ Hoshi. It's the range battle. And that's been the case almost every single time, especially when a Granger is across from you with a Suyo. And right now, they're going to watch the tier 2 in the mid lane fall to this push from Team Liquid ID. Again, Aaron Shiki taking a couple shots on Sutsujin. He has to go back, quarter of the health left. Lord still make its way on the top side, and RQ, they'll get ready to defend, utilizing Rins' RWM when they try to push in. Not sure if Witty's going to go under and through. They're going to go in.
Okay, Cheat Kondo is there. Real world manipulation coming in from Rins. The Glorious Pathway is also there, and they're going to make quick work of the Lord. No inhibitor turrets will be taken down for the side of RRQ Hoshi.
Clearing it out. Sutsujin dealing with that bottom side. Ultimately, dealing with the Lord, they're going to be fine, but they are going to lose still more in the jungle. You're seeing the gaps here between the gold lane, between nearly every single lane at this point. And you got to start to think, all right, RRQ Hoshi, how can they actually turn this game around? How can they win a team fight? Even if it comes down to the base, it might be up to them. But Edok, this Belric has not been working out the way they've wanted to. A lot of times he's just kind of slowed down and caught out. Yeskill as well. You know, the Gloom's enough for burning him down. I mean, this guy's got the Enchanted Talisman, the Glowing Wand, and the Wishing Lantern. And it just seems to eat away at the tankier members here of RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, honestly, the Belric, it's more of a reactive type of hero wherein you're going to wait for TLID to go in full commit with the dive and then cast a Wrath of Dryad. But TLID knows this. They actually used this previously, and they know how to work around Edok. So right now, we have to commend Aran because Aran's been providing a lot of vision for TLID, enabling actually Widdy to find the proper angle for those Jeet Kune Dos. He doesn't even need the Way of the Dragon. The Jeet Kune Dos alone has been connecting to at least 2 members of RRQ Hoshi, setting themselves up for the burst that can come from Aaron Shiki.
And now you got to see Halbert locked in here for Aaron Shiki. He's also got the Wind of Nature, so he has enough defensively, but also offensively to deal with that healing, that sustainability from RRQ Hoshi, whether that's the Revitalize being dropped down, but so far, even without the Sea Halbert, they've just been able to overload the damage. I mean, look at the shots here. Able to just take down, you know, almost a half health with the Destinado alone. The fight once again for the purple buff with the Lord coming up. RRQ Hoshi, they're going to have to deal with that, so it looks like no purple for Susujin. And we know this is a tough place to be if you're a Ling and you're also just this dependent on the purple buffs. We'll see if they can make a play elsewhere, because right now, Team Liquid ID wants to make their way to the Lord.
Yeah, but they're not going to burst down the Lord just yet, because again, Fabian actually uses Retribution, because that's how much they know how valuable is the purple buff for Susujin. A scaling type of hero needs that purple buff. So right now, TLID, they're just going to play it safe, wait for Fabian's Retribution to be up, and again, look for a proper angle for Widdy to deliver the Way of the Dragon that Jeet Kune Do. And the beauty of the lineup of TLID, because of the range that's coming in from Aaron Shiki, it's not even just the Jeet Kune Do or Aran's Glorious Pathway that procs the Tempest of Blades from Sutsujin. Even just the Death Sonata alone will sometimes forces Sutsujin to use the Tempest of Blades right away. It's
almost enough, and I like that. I like how Widdy was just kind of waiting with Fabian there, even as they were pushing down that bottom side, the long lane from this Lord, just to make sure that he can rotate and he's going to be fine, especially when the Retribution's up. So that time is now. Susujin picking up the BOD. They'll get the information they need. They're going to rely on Dairon and Idok to go ahead, but it's already going to be taken out. So Fabian gets the Lord. They don't want to fight this, so it looks like RRQ Hoshi will just go ahead and get ready for a defense again. Now breaking down the lineup, they've got a great high ground defense. They've got a great lineup that can actually defend to the base, but right now, they want to go ahead and get this purple buff for Susujin.
They're going to fight for the purple buff, forcing Jiren to use the split once again. Here comes the Death Sonata coming in from Aaron Shiki, but it's going to get blocked by Rins. And now Widdy looking for another angle. Susujin just desperately trying to get this purple buff, and TLID will successfully steal it away from him.
All right, so he's not going to have the buff for this. And just, we see this so often now, especially with how popular Granger is, and now that you have a Sky Piercer there, part of the equation, man, you got to have the team to body block the shots, because the Death Sonata is really starting to hurt. Widdy picking up this immortality means that he's probably going to force a fight, force a situation or a reaction, utilizing the flicker into the base when they get this ready to set up here. So RRQ Hoshi, Skylar, this is his time to shine on the Aerithil. Again, this Aerithil has done wonders for the teams that have brought it to their games. But right now, it's dealing with a ranged battle. Rins will also get a Divine Glaive, so perfect timing on the base defense as they try to clear things out. They get the black shoes out.
Okay, they're going to force out the black shoes, plus the Tempest of Blades. Here comes the Ryan, going to cut out the exit route with the Glorious Pathway. They're trying to chase right after Susujin, but they're not going to mind him anymore. Sets their eyes on the inhibitor turrets.
They got the black shoes. They got the flicker down. They still have to deal with the Lord here on the top side. RRQ Hoshi wants to hold on to what they can, even if at the expense of the base turrets. Rins though.
Oh, real manipulation, forcing the black shoes once again. This might be a go signal for RRQ Hoshi, but Fabian says no. Cutting off RRQ Hoshi. But still, that was still a good attempt for the Kingdom, because instead of losing all inhibitor turrets, they only lost one. And a lot of credit goes to Susujin because they forced out Yezekill's black shoes right away.
Yeah, I would say successful defense by RRQ Hoshi, holding down the walls of the base. Right now, 2 turrets still up. Despite being down this much, still got to give it to their lineup that they have here. Able to go ahead and lock things down. Rins as well. This time, they still get a position because they want to go ahead and allow that purple buff to be secured if it can and go in the hands of Susujin. It's going to work on the orange for now, but still, again, RRQ Hoshi staying in the game. If they can drag it on a little bit further, they might actually be in a position to contest the next Lord that comes up here, because nearly itemization-wise, they almost have everything they need, at least damage-wise. Now, tankiness, they got to build up a little bit more. Susujin also picking up a Malefic Roar. Idok, you know, he's along the way. He's got an anti-Cuirass and a Radiant Armor. That's why you just kind of see him dealing with a lot of the damage. I mean, as tanky as he's supposed to be, as the Spellrick is supposed to be, it just doesn't feel like it. And it's not like you're going to be able to just surprise anyone because of the fact that, you know, they're going to see you coming from a mile away. Yeah, exactly. And they're playing against, too, a glorious pathway. Aran has been a really good... I mean, look at this. Look at the Gloom damage.
Okay, they're gonna try and work on the Lord and try and burst it down. Energy with that Sonata. Just look at Edok soaking up the damage. Too much. RRQ might get a kill onto Edok there. Sutsujin trying to survey the scene. TLID still holding on to this Lord.
Edok able to get away. RWM dropped down. There's a glorious pathway, though. And the Lord still for the fight.
Sutsujin goes down. Templates of Blade gonna try and catch RRQ, but waiting with a Jet Kondo kill. Assisted him off to RRQ for that huge takedown. An answer for RRQ to bring down Aran. Direct Immortality will be popped and gets a flicker out to safety. But RRQ, does he have the ultimate, though? RRQ manages to lose Sutsujin, but TLID also got the Lord.
The little glue's trying to catch up, too, but I'm surprised Dyron stayed alive. Great usage of the flicker. They might, of course, be able to hold on still, as Sutsujin will be up in 20 seconds. They will have the rest of the waves to deal with, but by that time, also, RWM will be back. They'll have everything they need to go ahead and go for the defense, even the Revitalize perhaps here, depending on how long they stall this out. Sutsujin now seconds away from being up, and Team Liquid ID still down Aran. We'll see how they manage this push in. They might just get the 2 base turrets left here.
3D charging up the Cheat Kundu. Again, he has the flicker plus the immortality, so they're not afraid to dive in all in. RRQ Hoshi just making quick work of the Lord up top. No inhibitor turrets taken down once again. Still so far successful defense for RRQ Hoshi, but this might change if TLID manages to find a proper angle.
Still, these powered waves pushing in. Not sure if they're actually going to be able to get this. They do get a Black Shoes already out, though, from Yehezkiel. So again, Glorious Pathway, they want to take the bottom turret down.
Okay, gonna try and work on the bottom lane turret, but RRQ was ready for the response.
Wow.
Still saving one more hit of that turret, making sure that the walls of their kingdom are still there.
RQ Hoshi will have, again, you can chalk it up to a successful defense. 21 minutes in as Skylar picks up the Malefic Gun. And this has been enough time. Again, even the fact that a nice Queen Wand now in the hands of Rins, a fight that isn't in favor of Team Liquid ID around the next objective could turn this game completely over on its head. Dyron, though.
They're going to go full commit onto Dyron, forcing his split.
Fabian!
Oh, Fabian with the Queller! Making sure to bring down the tankiest hero of RRQ Hoshi. And now they're in trouble because TLID, they can feel the push that it's coming in onto the middle lane.
They saw what Dyron did earlier. They're not going to let it happen again, and now in the mid.
Waiting with a conceal and a double man knock-up. Jade Kundu forcing the Templars of Blades. And I'm just soaking up the damage. He does have to revitalize now. And RRQ Hoshi lost all inhibitor turrets. Aaron Shiki sets his eyes on Sutsujin, but Sutsujin manages to evade that. They lost Dyron and all their inhibitor turrets.
All the inhibitor turrets taken down. You gotta give it up, though, because it's been discipline that has played the part to Team Liquid ID, slowly but surely exposing the base now of RQ Hoshi. You can take a look at the items here once again. Skylar, I mean, finally he gets that Malefic Roar too, so he's locked in, but look at the amount of gold over here for Aaron Shiki. Even down to the point where sometimes just switching some of the items. And now that this Lord is up, again, we're gonna see if they're able to actually go and fight it off. Dyron and Edok gets whittled down by these damage dealers, even the Blooms alone. Difficult enough to actually find a window to go into here to contest this Lord right now as Fabian holds it together. Witty's positioning as well. Might look for a play, but they take their time. This has been the story so far for Team Liquid ID, is just taking their time when they know that they have somewhat of an advantage against RRQ Hoshi, but still respecting how this can change in the course of a team fight.
Yeah, there's a fat wave up top building for TLID. Eventually someone has to deal with the wave up top as Sutsujin works on the purple buff. Just look at that. That's Sonata forcing a Rins and Edok to walk away. Aran cuts the exit route off with a glorious pathway, but gonna get a shutdown onto Ezekiel. A kick coming in from Witty. The Immortality will be popped and will be brought down by Aaron Shaky. The Death Sonata was just too much for them to handle as Sutsujin will fall down. Now they have to worry about the minions.
The minions are already pushing into the base, but the Lord is secured by Team Liquid ID. And yes, RRQ Hoshi will defend the base for now. But again, for how long? And now almost 24 minutes into the game, you already saw how difficult it was. Susujin is just showing up the front side, gets taken out, and a Winter Crown and a Rose Gold Meteor picked up. Now for this push in, Lord making its way in the mid lane. And this is going to be the true test for RRQ Hoshi. This could change the course if they can turn it around. A couple immortalities for them. And still holding on to that Wind of Nature. Now Lord makes its way into the base. How do they pull this off? Witty goes in.
Okay, there's a conceal. Not gonna commit the Jeet Kune Do. Here comes the glorious pathway. They can actually focus on taking down the Crystal. TLID moments away from repeating history and bringing down the Kingdom.
5 games. And history for now will be repeated as the Cavalry goes through the gates of the Kingdom. RRQ Hoshi, as now they're one of the teams to represent Indonesia in the top 4 and going to Axiata Arena. What a match we had. What an evening of matches we've had. Absolute great gameplay, absolute cinema for a lot of people that would be watching this. Again, from the first match to now, it's been great to call the games here. Again, I'm Nice2, that's Singon. We're going to throw it back to the panel to break down the last game of the series.
A match and what a day. Liquid ID secures Axiata, extending the journey back to where it all started for the Kingdom. Gentlemen, was that last chapter in this 5-game series of an epic worthy?
Definitely worthy. The Cavalry able to withstand their siege and push through the Kingdom of RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, I think it was, we got our 20-minute plus. We got our 20 plus on there, so I'm happy with it. I wish it was a little more back and forth. It felt more like RRQ was kind of hanging on, just doing the best they could to make that last as far as possible. In the end, TLID, though, a methodical approach, able to just come out on top, get those Lords, get those objectives, and eventually smother down onto RRQ.
We gave Liquid ID an ultimatum. Come up with something new, a pocket pick, a pocket strat to put them back on the up and up, and here they did. They brought out and debuted successfully a Lilia in the hands of the Ghost of Jakarta, and luckily, despite not picking up a Purify, the Black Shoes was enough to keep him at his quota. Just 1 death on this Lilia, and all is well. Again, same story here for Weedy. We talked about how the mid was the priority for Team Liquid ID, and they secured both and got the win.
You know, for a second there, I thought we were going to get a repeat of Season 14 of MPLID.
In the upper bracket, yes.
Close.
Close.
But looks like we got a repeat of history of what we saw in our first series today, when we got to see Fnatic Onyx up against Falcons. Same exact way the matches played out, but they were able to find victory at the very end, able to find their composure. Just imagine if any of these were Game 7s today.
What was that? 14 for us in
14
total?
games, yeah.
Why would you do that,
Why would
Weezy?
you do
Why?
that?
I'm not doing it. They're doing it. All right?
You're putting it out there. Putting the energy out there.
Hey, you can't
I'm
talk.
not vibing with it.
He ate all the Hello Panda today.
Don't
He
bring up
does
the
not
past.
forget.
I have not forgotten.
Never forget.
I've been starving.
This is just how the Florida brothers roll.
That's how we roll.
You put us together in a hurricane forms, hot and cold.
Oh, yeah.
Miami.
There you go.
Heat.
No, that's the part where you say where you're from.
Oh, I'm from Tampa Bay.
Jacksonville. So shout out to everybody from Florida. And out.
If you guys don't know, Leo's from Miami. He doesn't tell anyone. He says he's Filipino, but really, he's a Miami native.
I've never been to the.
Don't lie.
I've never been to the East Coast.
Don't lie.
Look, we're
Furthest
from
I've been
Florida.
is Oregon. That's it. That was off of a domestic flight stopover. I've never been to the East Coast. But we'll call this the Florida Man Trio, and we get the longest series of them all. On Steph Weezy's debut, we go all the way. Well, more on the long series, more on the matchup that we just witnessed in just a bit. But for now, we are going to be throwing over to the stage. Rose is standing there with Team Liquid ID, and she's going to ask how they went.
The Cavalries has just sent the Kings of the Kings to the lower bracket. And right now, Team Liquid Indonesia holds top 4 this M6 World Championship. Right now, I'm with Widdy and Coach. Widdy, how are you feeling? Congratulations on top 4.
I feel really happy, really, because I got the tough game, and like Yeah, they are pretty opponent, but we can execute them better. So yeah, I feel very free. And
You feel very happy. I can see you're sweating. Was it a very intense match, Widdy? Intense?
very.
Very intense. It was a 3-2. Now, coach, how are you? Congratulations on top 4.
Okay, feeling good.
Feeling good. Okay, now, Widdy. We know that RRQ Hoshi was also your opponent in the MPLID Grand Finals. How is it like rematching against RRQ Hoshi and still winning?
Very happy sih. Karena apa ya? Mereka punya banyak potensi, terus juga resource yang mereka punya tuh sebenarnya emang potensial banget. Jadi ya kita pasti bisa belajar banyak lah dari mereka. Contohnya tadi kita juga dapetin game yang seru, jadi ya bakal banyak pembelajaran gitu sih.
I see. He said that actually he's very happy to go up against RRQ Hoshi once again, as he sees that the team actually has a lot of potential, and whenever they match up against each other, they do learn a lot, especially after such an intensive match, which was a treat to an amazing best of 5. Okay, now coach, we know that RRQ is a team you guys are very familiar with, and I think we can say they're also familiar with you because you guys are from the same region. However, coach, is preparation harder or easier if you guys are this familiar with each other?
I think against RRQ is like we are always playing puzzle. Like every match, every best of 5, best of 7, like we are like connecting each other. Like what's the best heroes for us to play at the game 5, at the game 4? Like I think like we are connected and we just play like a puzzle.
I see. So is that why they managed to actually secure a reverse sweep? Because, you know, it's like a puzzle. We don't know the missing pieces every game.
Yeah, I think we found the last piece at the game 5. Yeah.
You guys managed to get the last piece. Now, coach, I also have another question, which is regarding your mage picks, which took a lot of the casters and people by surprise, because you guys took Novaria and Alilia, which is not very common, especially this M series. Maybe you can share a little bit on why you guys decided on these 2 heroes?
I think Novaria and Lilia because ESGL is one of the best in his city. He got top 1 in the Novaria and Lilia. That's why he very confident. Yeah.
I see. So it's more towards your trust for the team.
Yes, yes.
I see. Okay, I like that. Now, Widdy, what are the differences with facing RRQ Hoshi in the international stage and in MPL back home? Apa bezanya?
Mungkin mereka sekarang lebih berpengalaman aja sih, soalnya kan kita emang banyak kedatangan rookie juga kan, kita berdua. Jadi ya kita ajang ngadu pembelajaran aja sih, siapa yang lebih berproses dan ajang pembuktian satu sama lain aja gitu.
Okay, so the difference honestly is that because they're both learning here in M6, so we can see that RRQ Hoshi had a smoother run to the knockout stage. They learned differently compared to TLID. Okay, now coach, you guys just won this rematch up against RRQ Hoshi, right? However, after securing this win, you guys have to go through another matchup in the upper bracket finals up against Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Now, coach, Fnatic Onyx Philippines is definitely on a roll. How are you guys preparing leading up to this matchup? Because you guys will be having a long break.
I think what we need to prepare for now is our stamina, because today and yesterday is a long day for us. I think the most important one is we need to rest first, and then for tomorrow I think we're gonna prepare, like we're watching all the games from Fnatic, and also we kind of know their game style, and we are also know each other lah. But yeah, best of 5 I think is more entertaining later. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Best of 5 is definitely very entertaining. Our casters are very hyped and obviously losing their voice as well. Now, we can also imagine the stamina it needs our players to have, especially long games. Look at Widdy. He's sweating. Widdy, are you okay? Are you tired?
A bit lah.
A bit tired. Okay, now Widdy, what about your opinion on rematch against Fnatic Onyx Philippines?
Again, I think we can learn a lot from them. So yeah. we just prepared ourselves and give the best learn lah.
Give a good game, right? Now, Widdy, do you have anything to say to Fnatic Onyx Philippines before we wrap up?
Give all the viewers best game.
Give all the viewers the best game. He told me just now, my mom don't let me taunt, so, okay, you know what? We respect that, okay? So, thank you very much to Widdy and to Coach. Congratulations on top 4. And with that, let us join back to the panel to break down this amazing series up against RRQ Hoshi.
Anything my mom says I can't do, I definitely will not do. Great hearing from Weedy the Wise and Coach St. Lucas from Team Liquid ID. Class act every single time.
Still very humble all the way till the end, right? Still giving credit where it's due, respecting the power of RRQ Hoshi, even though they were able to find victory over them. And that just showcases the caliber of these teams, not only in the game, but outside of it as well.
Yeah,
Coach T?
Coach T, that's me. Sorry. Yes. I think overall, in the end, there were so many choices in draft, as we saw. RQ kind of caught some pacing there in game 2 and 3, but I love the way that TLID said it on stage during an interview. We just found the last piece first. In game 5, they were able to finally found the play, and that's what we saw. Now, taking a look at the Lilia, if this is something you want to play now in the current meta, even though a lot of people haven't, there's been some changes. You used to go for the Ice Queen wand. No more. Yehezkiel, bringing in the lantern, the old lantern.
That too, as well, no build up on the Holy Crystal. I would reckon, number one, they don't need the Ice Queen one because numbers-wise, stat by stat, it doesn't provide, besides that slow, what Team Liquid ID was looking for. Same for the Holy Crystal. Like bang for buck, you would rather build these other items than, you know, just invest a good chunk of money into just raw damage.
And the damage was able to prevail overall for Team Liquid. Able to push on forward 3-2 in this best of 5. I mean, this was a situation where Witty found his composure. We also got to see Aran find his composure as well and able to push on forward.
And look at all the defensive emblems on the side of RRQ right now. They knew what was coming for them. Everyone's got a tenacity locked in.
Yep.
They knew the aggression that TLID wanted to bring, and I think the goal for RRQ was we waited out, we tried to hold on, but they were never able to grab a hold of the rhythm.
Yep. Again, even in the emblem setup, you saw that the Kingdom was setting up for the defense, which maybe if you first phase pick a Ling, might not be the best go. More on that in just a bit. We will see the highlights as to how Sutsujin was kind of compromised. Quick gasp here. Is that the damage on the untouchable air on Shiki?
Yes.
The Ghost of Jakarta over there with 127,000 damage. But look at Renz as well, though, on the Eve.
Tell me you did not just call
Aaron
Shiki the ghost.
Oh! You're right.
Yehezkiel.
Yehezkiel.
He did his job. He did a midway job of being a
long
core
day. Forgive him
Long
for his
day.
sins.
and a utility. It's been a long day and it's his first day.
he just flew for 30 hours. So.
I did. That's true.
The ghost is gonna haunt you, bro.
You get today as a break.
No.
After this.
You look your Yehezkiel in the eye and say, I'm sorry.
Yehezkiel is gonna haunt me now. The
say-
Ghost.
You say Ma'af. That's Bahasa for some, sorry. But yeah, no, both cores were very impressive.
Yeah, overall, I think just in the end, TLID came out on top. Crazy damage. Aran, once again, is able to do his job with a tanky frontliner, absorbing almost 200,000 damage himself, and just not even going down that much either.
A good chunk of that, I reckon, would be from Rins, because he dealt a respectable 122. It's just these fights went on so long that a lot of the damage would go on Aran. He would heal off the Revitalize, off the Glorious Pathway, get out of there. Go on Yehezkiel, because look, 60k on a winning Lilia, it means he would just eat up a lot of that damage and then just get away with it. Just press the black shoes.
And this is a 24-minute game, and I mean, look at Skylar, right? 53,000 damage, just not even able to find those. Exactly, which means he was not able to find that window of opportunity in that entire game. And you know what happens when the king falls.
Which is explained by the gold as well. Sutsujin is your secondary king, maybe even Rins, but nothing comes close to the actual Monarch. We're about to give our nod here for the Game 5 MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, bow down to the untouchable Aaron Shiki. You can't even look at him. You can't even see him. That's how untouchable he
Oh,
is.
with the pose too. I love it. They're representing. They feel good. They just guaranteed themselves Oxiata Arena, upper bracket finals, 5 rookies, 5-0 and 5, just to match on. I like it.
And a guaranteed top 4 for Indonesia as well, which is also something that hits home. Right now, we still got a lot of teams. We still got more days to go inside of the knockout phase. We got to figure out who's going to claim those 2 remaining seats.
That's right. Aaron Shaky here. Amazing use of the space and the ramp up that his team laid out for him. Early, mid to late, he was always on point. You'll see here in the highlights how as early as what, 7-8 minutes?
Oh,
he was just looking for the king. That was an amazing pickup by Witty, gotta say.
Yeah, just overall flawless execution. Aaron Shiki getting the job done on this Granger, who we've seen time and time again test the mettle of the meta, right? We see it go up against the Bruno. We see it be such a hot topic in M6.
And you can see so much Susujin doing everything he can to try to turn these fights around. But every time he goes in, Witty's waiting. Witty is always waiting for the perfect time to kick you in the face.
Whenever Witty's not doing anything, it's not like he's just standing there. He's waiting.
He's waiting.
And
Witty the waiter.
Maybe
we'll
not.
workshop it.
Yeah. It's an amazing setup because, again, Liquid ID figured out a way to do it, much like RRQ in Game 4. They ended up with 3 cores. They ended up with Fabian on the Suyo. They ended up with Yehezkiel on the Lilia that deals a lot of damage. And then they